Over the past few years, I've found myself visiting the canals of Northwest Europe time and time again. The variety, freedom and adventure that they provide to an angler is something special, not least the eclectic mix of big carp that inhabit these waterways. On my latest solo mission, I returned to a group of canal systems in France with not much of a plan in mind other than to try and catch as many big carp as possible.
Oh my god, things to be common. That's a bite.
Welcome to another angling adventure. We've got a couple of days ahead of us for this session. We're over in France, we're fishing the canals, and the reason I'm here is on Monday I'm meeting up with Hassan. We're going to make a film about this style of fishing. So I came out a little bit early, it's Saturday now, basically to try and locate the fish, because this type of fishing, it's so much about locating the carp. So I've got the weekend free, so I come a little bit early and try and get a head start for this film. So it's a bit of a scouting mission really. I got here late last night, about midnight, came to a stretch that I'd fished before and I thought might have a chance of doing a bite, flicked some rods out, got to sleep, and then about an hour ago I had an absolute ripper. I'm fishing with little 6-foot rods and it tore off down the river, could barely control it. Thankfully managed to land it. It's not the biggest carp in the world, it's about 20-pound common, but it's a fish. We've got a fish already. Like I said, it's a scouting mission, so to have caught one so quickly is fantastic. We'll get him out now, show you him. When I say I thought this was going to be enormous, absolutely ripped off, but nice to get a fish. 20-pound common, we'll take that. Great fight. Oh, one thing I love about the canals is you're very rarely disappointed with a fish you catch, even if it's not the biggest carp in the world. This is just a pretty typical little common, but he's a cool one. Absolutely beasted me, and I'm very glad I've caught him. Let's hold him up. Oh, he's very aggy. How does he look on camera? Come on mate, put your tail down. There we go. Not the biggest fish in the world, but a great start. I'm gonna put a little bit of bait in here before we leave. I don't think I'm gonna fish here again until at least Hassan gets here. It is a night stretch, this one. It gets a little bit of pressure. So I'm gonna trickle a little bit of bait in. If I've got a bite so quickly, at least they're here. And then I'm gonna go find somewhere else to fish the next couple of days. Yeah, nice start. With a little bit of breakfast cooked and consumed, it was time to hit the road and go exploring. Okay, back in the van. Let's go do a bit of exploring. This type of fishing is all about staying on your toes. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go to a couple of stretches. They're days only stretches to start off with. Have a look at them, see if there's an opportunity, but mainly get a little bit of bait in, and then go check out some of the night stretches for this evening. Yeah, come on, I love this type of fish. I love canals, love the adventure, love the freedom of it. So yeah, should be a good couple of days. Right, let's focus on driving. The following day consisted of miles and miles of walking down various canal stretches in an attempt to find carp. I saw very little to go on, but managed to bait a few areas to potentially fall back on later in the session. I forgot just how much walking is involved in this style of angling. Day's getting on now. I've probably walked about 12 kilometres, seen a couple of carp. Nothing really to make me want to stop and fish there, but I baited a few spots. Got a few things prepped when Hassan gets here and for the next couple of days. I'm going to go back to the stretch I fished last night now. I'm going to fish there, not the same area, different swim, just to see if I can pin down any of the bigger carp, and then we'll reassess tomorrow. But I'm knackered, yeah, so much walking. I quickly prepared the rods and got rigs into position. Little traps in the edge was my approach of choice. After getting 3 rods in position, I was able to sit back and chill for the first time that day. That took so much longer than I wanted it to. But we're fishing now, we've got 3 rods out. I'm not feeling that confident, I won't lie. I don't know, it's just the fact I've not seen anything, but having said that, I've barely seen anything all day, so we'll do the night at least, see what happens, and then tomorrow I think we're going to stay on this stretch. If we can't catch him here, let me know they're not down at this end. So then I'll go to the middle area, fish the middle area. Hopefully there's some fish there, at least passing through. And then if they're not there, they'll be at the top. So when Hassan comes, we know where we need to fish. That's the plan. Trying to pin them down these canals when you can't find them is, yeah, it's difficult, but we'll keep going, we'll keep trying. I'm exhausted though, it's been a long day, but thank God we're fishing, come on. As night came, I wasn't feeling very confident of a bite. I was looking forward to getting into my sleep system for some well-earned rest. Well, morning, it's just getting to first light, and I think we had a bit of rain in the night, so they've opened the top lock, just let a little bit of water through. Wiped out a few of my rods, so yeah, we ain't fishing anymore. Oh, really annoying. Right on bite time. This is what happens when you fish so close to a lock. So I think I'm gonna have a coffee, pack up, go down this stretch a little bit more, find a new spot and fish there. Yeah, like I said, I didn't feel too hopeful about this place yesterday. There's something about it. Probably not seeing any fish. But yeah, looks like it's been a blank. Got in, right. Slowly pack up and get on the move. Okay, we're at the next location. Somewhere I've not fished before. I recently got tipped off about it, and it's looking really, really nice. I've not actually seen any carp yet, but the water is crystal clear. There looks like some nice spots in the edge, and I have seen fizzing, which I think is carp. Not actually seen the fish, but it's so hard to spot them. The light level was terrible. Here's a fish. Common, £25. Swimming up. Not wanting to stop from the looks of things. He's on a bit of a mission. Finally, seen some fish, my God. Saw two, big mirror and a big common, both about £30. So I think, I'm in two minds of what to do, but I think I'm gonna put some bait in and save it for when Hassan comes. So I'm gonna go back to the van, get the bait, stick that in a few spots, little handfuls everywhere, near where I've seen the fish. Okay, that's a little bit of bait in, not loads. I put in about 2 kilos. I didn't want to put any more in just because we're fishing it tomorrow, and I don't want them to, I don't know how many fish there are in here. There could be like 20 fish. So if I put 5 kilos in, then there's a good chance that they're not really going to be, there's just a chance that you might overbait basically. I'm very aware that this video so far has just been me walking around throwing bait in, so I'm hoping that changes at the next venue. I've got a carp to show you. But that's fishing sometimes, especially doing this style of fishing. God, it takes a lot out of you, and at times it gives you very little back, but you keep putting in, eventually you get something out, so yeah, let's keep going. Right, see you at the next venue. Just wanted to stop quickly at something that I notice a lot fishing where I fish, obviously all over France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, all that Western Europe, and whenever I see one of these, I do feel incredibly lucky that I'm driving around this part of the world to go fishing, to fulfill my hobby, because if I was born 3 generations ago, then perhaps I would be in a very different situation. Like I said, with all the fishing I do all over Western Europe, every city, town, tiny little village you go in, there's one of these. It's a mad thing to think that if I was born 3 generations ago, some of you watching, if you were maybe born even 1 generation ago, you wouldn't be watching a fishing film right now, preparing to go maybe to some of these places to go fishing. You'd be over there fighting a war. So yeah, I always feel very lucky whenever I see one of these, which you see all the time. It's crazy. Like I said, every single little village in Western Europe has got one of them with 20 plus names on, so yeah, mad to think. Right, let's go do some fishing. I decided to head to a night stretch of a canal that I had fished before and enjoyed some good results. However, I couldn't locate any fish, which didn't fill me with much confidence. Again, I decided to fish small traps spread along the canal as best I could in the hope of intercepting some passing carp in the night. With rods in position, it was time to turn in for the night. Well, I got well and truly tenched and drenched, I'm going to call it, last night. Had like 4 or 5 tench. The rain was horrendous, redoing the rods in the rain, just praying for that bite from a carp, but sadly we didn't get one. I've got to go off and meet Hassan now. I was hoping to have caught enough carp so far so that this could be a standalone film. However, all that I've really done is walk around and bait herbs besides that carp at the start, so it's not really a film on its own. After Hassan leaves on Thursday, I've got until Sunday to carry on fishing by myself. And I'm going to carry on fishing the canals. I've put a lot of preparation work in, a lot of groundwork, baited a lot of areas. 2 or 3 more nights of fishing with Hassan will get more of an idea of where the carp are. So I'm going to carry on this film after Hassan leaves. So I'll see you guys in a couple of days, and hopefully, I say this all the time, but I'm so fingers crossed that that's when we start catching a few fish, because so far it's not been going well. Right, I need to get on the road and see Hassan. I'll see you guys in a few days. Dropping onto my pre-baited canal stretch with Hassan proved incredibly successful, with plenty of wonderful carp landed between the pair of us. Well, my God, have things changed since I last saw you. When I last saw you, I'd basically been wandering around the canal like a headless chicken, trying to find carp with very little success. I then went off for a session with Hassan. That video is going to be on Capital Carp Competition's website. Please check it out, because we had an absolute red letter session. I think we had 12 fish between us in 48 hours. Had a 40, upper 30s. Yeah, Hassan caught his first canal carp from Europe, his first river carp. It was just an unbelievable session. So I'm in a much better mood, much happier. Like I said, if you want to see how that session went, check it out on the Capital Carp YouTube channel. I'm going to stick around where we've been fishing. I've got a canal behind me and a river the other side. We fish a rod in the river, 3 rods in the canal, and we're going to fish here at least under 24 hours because it's been fishing so well it seems stupid to move off now. Things are much better, things have improved. Hopefully we catch some fish for this video now. So yeah, let me get the rods sorted. We've had a little flurry of action this morning. The boys have left. Let me redo the rods, chill out a little bit because it's been so hectic the past couple of days, and hopefully we'll get a bite pretty soon. I freshened up the rods and got them back on the spots that had done so many fish for us already. It didn't take long after doing this that I had another bite. Absolute screamer. There we go. Little common in the net. Nice common, maybe 15 pounds. We'll get him straight back. I need to get a picture with him. Cheers, mate. The action really slowed up after that small common, and as we headed into the evening, I didn't receive a bite on either the canal or the river rods. I was treated to a misty sunrise the following morning, typical of the early autumn, but despite the beautiful environment I was situated in, I was feeling a little despondent at my lack of nighttime action. Morning. Somehow, got very little to report. I've literally just lost one from in the river, managed to steer away from the snag and then just a random hook pull. But yeah, nothing from the canal other than that little common that we had yesterday evening. But yeah, really, really quiet. It can happen on places like this, canals and rivers, where the fish do just move off you and they just as easily can move back onto you. But yeah, we'll definitely just give it another 24 hours here, see what happens. I think it's the curse of this camera, because I've just had an unbelievable session with Hassan. As soon as I come back to filming again for my own channel, it yeah, falls off a cliff a little bit. But we'll get this rod back out now, bit of bait round it, think about redoing the other rods as well, have some food and see if we can nick a bite. There's a really big common here that I'd love to catch in the canal, and who knows what's in the river, so there's still plenty to go for. But yeah, thought I'd have a fish to show this morning. Sadly I don't. Right, waders at the ready.
for fishing in this river. You see, it's very snaggy. And Hassan's lost a couple. Hassan's had all the bites from here, to be fair. He's had about 6-7 bites. He was fishing on the left-hand side, I was fishing on the right. He had all the bites. So obviously I'm gonna fish on the left now that he's gone. But I think he landed most of them besides one, maybe 2 he lost. But just bullying them, heavy duty gear, managed to land them. So as long as the waders are ready to go in the river, we should be all right. Just what you want when you're fishing in the edge. Mate, you come past mowing the lawn.
Any match of the Burnabout really in the Champions League, I think is going to be special. What would be your favourite moment from Real Madrid?
Well, that was all very hectic. Didn't even get time to grab the GoPro, anything. Got one out the river. Absolute scream. I'm just there cooking a bit of breakfast, watching a podcast, and whee! And you just got to run. It's so snaggy in that river. You've got to run round, bully them, land them, think about filming after. So yeah, I've got a carp. Get that now and show you. Well, this is a good sign. Second bite of the morning from the river. Lost the first one sadly, but it's probably a common, similar sort of size. I think it means that the fish are showing up again. We really struggled yesterday to get anything from the river, and I think it meant that they moved off, but hopefully this means they're back. We'll catch a few more throughout the day, and then the night is when we get the action on the canal. But Hassan, he caught loads when we were here from the river. This is actually my first fish. He had like 8 fish. This is my first one, so yeah, buzzing with that, gonna get him back. And then hopefully catch a few more, catch a real big one from the river would be nice. Another big one from the canal, wicked. There's some people over there want to take a picture. I think the guy wants to take a photo on his iPhone. One photo? Yeah. C'est une cap. Merci.
I got the rod back out in the river along with a few pouches of bait. Oh. Look at that slug right in there. Get out.
That's a bite. Such a pain, this weed, playing them. Literally stuck my GoPro on charge just then, so it's not ready to go. So I've got to film this on my phone. It's gonna look awful, sorry guys. Common, nice common. Right, put this down. Should be in the net next time I see you. Oh my God, I think it's the big common. I think that's the big common. Yes. Yes! I think it's the big common. Oh, bloody hell. That's a big fish. I'm sure it's the big common. There's a big common in the fish. I'm sure that's it. Get in there. Now this is a special carp. The reason I first found out about this place, I saw this picture of this common, pestered the person who caught it, share the pin with me. Thankfully he did, and I've caught it. But I also caught the big mirror of the stretch with Hassan. I've got the 2 big ones of the stretch, and oh my days, this is a fish and a half, let me tell you. Lovely tail, the mouth on it is enormous. 44 pound of mega Canal common carp. Look at that. Oh my God. I hope he looks as good on there as he looks here in front of me, because he looks incredible. His mouth is just ridiculous. Yeah, that's proper that. Job done. I'm definitely leaving this stretch now. I've caught the 2 big ones. Let's go on to something new tomorrow. But yeah, thank you mate. Get you back. Job done. Whew. Special fish.
With the fish returned and the rod back on the spot, it didn't take long for the carp to show up again.
Okay, There's a carp feeding right now on my spot. I think I'm gonna get a bite. Put it out again about an hour ago after that common. Come on, fingers crossed. Right, I'm gonna step back. See if we can catch him. Yeah, looks like a nice fish as well. And again. Oh, nice common. Mad how strong the tackle's holding up. Through all the weed, the big battles, size 6 floater claws, nailed them. Armour line, never any doubt. Another big old head on them. Come on mate, chill, chill. I actually think, when I was with Hassan, I went to bait up a canal and left my rods in. Hassan was here, and he caught one of my rods, and I'm sure it's this one. He said it was a low mid 30 with a bent pop rib. I mean, that fits the description, doesn't it? So, yeah, that's nice that the fish that should have been mine, that Hassan caught, I have now caught. Wicked. Right, I'm gonna get him back. Jesus, it feels good to finally have a few carp to show you guys. It's been such a struggle the first part of this trip. All came good when Hassan came. And now, yeah, now we're catching a few, so it's great to be in amongst a few fish. I thought I'd quickly talk through now that you've seen that I actually half know what I'm talking about. I thought I'd talk you through how I approach canals like this. So obviously first thing first is just walking. Walk and walk and walk and walk and walk until you find fish. Once you find fish, they're quite easy to catch. In terms of baiting approach, I'll go for quite a simple mix this time of year. Just boilies and tigers, and I'll go quite big with the boilies, 15 mil, even up to 24 mil. I'll fish with citrus and monster shrimp. Citrus is a fruity, nutty based boilie, and the monster shrimp is a fish meal based boilie. If the catfish are really bad on a canal, I'll take the monster shrimp, the fish meal, out. Add tigers in that as well. Carp love tigers, especially carp on these canals, absolutely love them. And what I'll do is, I'll normally fish 2 inside spots. Right here we've got all the weed. There's lots of spots within that weed on the near margin. I'll fish 2 inside spots and I'll fish 1 spot out in the middle. The spot out in the middle, normally what I do is I'll fish over a bigger spread of bait and I'll fish a pop-up over the top. And rig-wise, I'm always fishing on both of these spots a slip Ronnie. It's the rig that I use for pretty much all my fishing when I can. I love it, super effective rig. But what I'll do on the middle spot is, because I'm not 100% sure what the bottom's like, it's a little bit more choddy, there's a little bit of weed, you never really know what's out there 100%. I'll fish a pop-up on a semi-stiff skin link boom. That way I know that it sits across the bottom quite nicely. Whereas on the inside spots I'm looking for are super clean gravel spots. You can see everything, you're placing the rig in by hand. With them I'll fish fluoro link boom sections, much stiffer. I'm much more confident that they're presented all the time. I think that they're better at hooking fish when they're feeding close, in like a close area, because what I'll do is on those inside spots, they're a lot smaller areas and I'll feed quite close together. So that's pretty much my approach. It's how I always approach the canals. If you want to get into this type of fishing, be that canal fishing specifically or public fishing in general over in Europe, canals are the place to start, because you can fish them sort of UK style. You don't need boats, you don't need engines, you don't need echoes. You can fish it UK style. All it takes is a lot of walking, and you don't actually need like good locations from people. The best canals I've found have been when I picked a canal system on a map and just walked it and found fish and fished for them and caught them. That's what I'd recommend you to do. Don't message me for spots on Instagram. It's the one message I never ever reply to. But if you want a starting point, and I always say this to people when they ask for a starting point, just pick a canal system and walk it and you'll find carp. Obviously it's easy to do this in the spring, summer, but even this time of year, start of autumn, we're still seeing fish in the edge. So that's my advice. That's how I approach these places. And it catches carp. I know it didn't seem like that at the start of the video, but now I can assure you, as you can see, it catches carp. Right, the rods are all out again. We're approaching the evening. I think we'll be lucky to catch one more before night on the actual canal. Who knows on the river, carp could turn up at any moment. So we're gonna sit back, chill out a little bit, see if we can nick a bite, but I wouldn't be surprised next time I see you, it's the night or perhaps even the morning if we don't catch anything in the night. In again from that spot down there. There he is, fish in the net. Just getting into sunset, another fish in the bag. I think that's 3 today from the canal, so good going, can't really ask for much more than that. Let's get him out, show you him. Wicked. Isn't it nice when a plan starts to come together? Sometimes on these trips, you do so much work for so little rewards, like we did at the start, and then finally it all come good. There we go. Just a small one. Saw him feeding on the spot earlier. Thought we might have him when he came back. And yeah, we've got him. Gonna slip him back, get a bit of food on, chill out, enjoy the evening. I'm sure we'll catch a couple more. Would you believe it? We're in again. On the river this time. My God. What a ripper. What about that for a beautiful sunset as well? This is carp fishing. Wild carp, beautiful locations. All right, let's land him. Let's go wading. No swims where we are. Come on, mate. Old common in there. Real old one. In the river, in your pants. Looking at that. Well, I think this really is the last one till it gets dark. I just put a fresh pouch of tigers, a monster shrimp over the spot. Within 10-15 minutes, we had another little river common to round off the day. Wicked. Thank you, mate. Let's see what the night brings. Ooh. The night came and went with just a very small common from the river to report. I returned it quickly and packed up in the morning to head to a new canal system. The next few days really didn't go as planned. Despite fishing some cool locations that I knew held decent carp and I had pre-baited, I couldn't seem to catch anything. It really was a complete turnaround compared to the previous few days and reminded me more of the start of the session where I was struggling to get anything going. Oh well, these things happen, but perhaps in retrospect, I should have stayed on the canal with the big common to see if it had any more surprises to throw up. I couldn't complain too much though, as it's been a great session overall with some epic carp landed. The canals really are incredible and offer countless lifetimes of angling adventure, and I certainly can't wait to head back out again myself.